In the sweltering, persistent heat of early June, the Coconino County Courthouse remained still. While the air inside was cold and antiseptic, it was filled with curious observers, while the hot desert sun beat brightly down upon the adobe exterior of the courthouse in Flagstaff. This was not simply a trial. This was a confrontation in which reputations would be tested and either survive or perish. Robyn Brown perched at the defense table, face studiously schooled and impervious. Makeup was perfect, not for vanity's sake, but as shield, and she sported a silky blue blouse whose pearls just caught at the collar. She almost didn't flinch when her lawyer leaned in to whisper in her ear. Her eyes stayed on the doors to the courtroom, aware that what was about to happen could not be reversed. On the other side, Meri and Janelle sat together on a bench, bound by an unstated sense of solidarity. Although they had once been estranged, sometimes enemies or at least strangers to one another's plights, they now sat together, bound by betrayal. Janelle exuded a calm that seemed impenetrable, her blonde hair pulled back and glasses low on her face. Meri, however, burned with a fierce resolve in her eyes, a righteous indignation born of years of rejection and loss. When the bailiff bellowed, "All rise," the courtroom came to a standstill. Cell phones were silenced, onlookers stiffened, news reporters leaned forward. Judge Rebecca Valdez, a commanding presence in her silver hair and height, strode into the room and took her seat at the bench with an unobtrusive air of authority that filled the chamber. She swept the room with a swift glance before sitting down. The prosecution stood, supported by Loretta Crane, a female whose voice supported years of untruths she'd witnessed throughout her time in court. "Your Honor, we will demonstrate that Mrs. Robyn Brown perjured herself, that Mr. Kody Brown knowingly aided and abetted her, and that they hid family and marital assets under systematic dishonesty." Robyn's mouth twitched, but she remained quiet. The opening salvo came in the form of video evidence, video shots by TLC never seen, purchased by subpoena. The screen glowed and the room grew darker as the handheld camera rolled on Robyn on her porch, sipping coffee, none the wiser. "We couldn't keep Sedona property in our own name," she guffawed. "We had to utilize Brianna's name. Otherwise, Meri and Janelle would believe it was merely another part of the family trust." The video kept going. "Kody and I decided to keep it in the background. If anyone wants to know, we'll tell them it's for her education fund." There was silence. A reporter's pen clicked too loudly. Robyn's face went white. Her lawyer sprang up to object. "Overruled. Continue," Judge Valdez said, her voice unbending. The prosecutor then held up a sworn affidavit Robyn had signed only weeks before. "I have never used my children to hold property or diverted any family funds." Her voice had been firm, her gaze forthright. Now, in court, this inconsistency turned into an unbreathable tool, a conscious lie captured on tape. Meri shut her eyes for a second, not in agony, but relief that the truth had finally emerged. Janelle looked ahead, jaw clenched, bearing the burden of silent years. Janelle was summoned next. She walked to the witness stand with measured steps, with a large binder of evidence in hand. Sitting down, she took the oath and gazed directly at the jury. "For nearly 3 decades, I was spiritually married to Kody Brown," she started. "I had 6 children in this family. I assumed the family account was distributed equally between all wives and children. I had no idea that Robyn and Kody established different LLCs without informing us. Every document, bank statement, and wire transfer that Loretta Crane exhibited made Janelle's tale more appalling. Robyn and Paul had formed several corporations by which almost $500,000 had been transferred, nothing of which Janelle had any knowledge. Meri's name appeared nowhere on any of them. They borrowed from the jewelry business, the Sedona house, and even some of the TLC payments, Janelle went on. When I asked questions, I was told I was being paranoid. Who told you that? Crane asked. Kody and Robyn, Janelle replied. A ripple of denial and increasing anger ran through the courtroom. Meri trailed behind her. Once the wife who concealed pain beneath practiced smiles. Now she spoke with gut-level honesty that stung to the bone. For years I was informed that I wasn't trying hard enough, she explained, that I was the issue, but I wasn't the one concealing assets or forming shell companies. I was the one left behind. She produced emails, signed documents, and notes from her accountant. Then came the recording. Your Honor, I'd like to play an audio clip from a family finance meeting in late 2022. The prosecutor requested. The judge nodded. Robyn's voice filled the room. Just use Meri's LLC, Kody. She won't know what it's for. Let's blame it on her taxes and fix it later. Meri didn't respond. Robyn's mask fell. Her secrets were exposed. Kody sat in the gallery, arms folded, expression empty, but red heat rising up his neck. He had banked on loyalty holding them in check, but that loyalty was spent. Judge Valdez pushed forward. Mrs. Brown, can you explain this recording? Robyn's lips quivered. I was just joking, she babbled. Loretta Crane intervened. And what happened to the bank accounts? The LCs? Robyn had no response. The courtroom hummed with seething anger. Reporters clacked away, shooting dispatches across the net. The hashtags number sign Kody Fraud and number sign Robyn Lies were already trending. Judge Valdez addressed Kody. Please come to the bench, she ordered. Kody rose stiffly, his body protesting. For the first time, he was no longer the patriarch of a polygamist family on television. He was just a man, vulnerable, older, and suddenly unsure. Mr. Brown, the judge went on, you are being sent to the Arizona Attorney General's office for investigation into fraud and tax evasion, based on the testimony and evidence heard. You are not yet charged, however. That is a possibility after further examination. Meri let out a breath. Janelle began to open her mouth to say something, but remained quiet. She didn't have to speak. The room itself appeared to hold its breath. Robyn burst into tears, raspy, hitching sobs that were raw and honest, not the rehearsed, stage-honed tears of her television days. Her makeup dissolved. Fear, rather than sorrow, contorted her face. Meri inched near Janelle, speaking softly enough so only they could hear. Janelle nodded. As the judge adjourned, the reporters jammed the doors. Flashbulbs flashed as they swarmed around them. Questions flew. How does it feel to be vindicated, Meri? Are you going to press charges, Janelle? What does this mean for sister wives? Janelle moved forward. We kept quiet for years in an attempt to maintain the family together, she explained. But that quiet only made the lies grow. Meri trailed behind. This was more than a show. It was our lives. But that's over now. Robyn was escorted out, no longer protected by her title or by the presence of her husband. Kody came out behind her, quiet and alone. Meri and Janelle emerged from that courthouse as women, no longer wives, free at last to tell their own stories. Meanwhile, Kody Brown's future on Sister Wives is unknown. His polygamous family has come apart, with divorces and intense feuds with his children. His marriages to Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Robyn were once featured on television. But now that story has imploded. Christine was the first to depart in season 17, the first wife to announce her split with Kody publicly in 30 years. Janelle and Meri later followed, leaving Kody and Robyn as the only monogamous pair. Robyn's arrival had altered the dynamics of the family. At first, she appeared to be joy-bringing, but over time, the others were overshadowed by her closeness with Kody. He concentrated on his little children with Robyn, leaving the rest of the family feeling neglected. This caused divisions that split the family into two. During the early years, the Browns were a cohesive, if complicated, whole. But Robyn's arrival introduced divisions which even the other wives and offspring recognized. It was at the funeral of Garrison Brown that the fractures in the family stood in sharp relief. The Browns came to mourn the passing of Garrison, but it was evident their shared connection had worn thin beyond salvage. 6 months after this, Kody and Robyn went back to Wyoming to reminisce about things in the past. Janelle, Christine, and the rest of the kids attempted to recover. Aspen, Kody's own daughter, attempted to make amends, and Kody was optimistic about reconciling with his estranged kids. But Robyn's refusal to support this only validated what most others suspected, that she was against reconciliation. The proposal of Kody continuing sister wives without Robyn has been brought up. Robyn has been unable to handle the aftermath of Kody's divorces and the blame she received for them. In a one-on-one interview, Kody spoke about how tired he was of having to explain their relationship, leaving no doubt that he and Robyn were both knowledgeable about the effects of the show. Robyn never liked taping. Once, she said she'd sooner get a root canal than stand in front of the cameras. She would not let the family watch reruns, saying they were too painful. Her refusal to accept blame made it even more difficult for the family to recover. Taking Robyn out of the show could be the only viable option. Sister Wives has become a show about rebuilding after betrayal rather than polygamy. People tuned in for the drama of multiple families at first, but now they want to see healing. Even with the divorces, the Browns are still joined by their children. Open and honest talk is all Kody can hope to mend relationships he's lost. The harm done to his image by how he's treated his wives and children can only be undone by actual action, not additional TV melodrama. While Kody and Robyn's romance is genuine, it's tainted by the harm that they have caused. For Kody to start healing the damage, he must reconnect with his family beyond Robyn's shadow. Christine's experience was different. She reminisced about her time with Kody with regret. She married him in 1994 and became his third wife, eventually realizing she could no longer share him. Her dissatisfaction increased during the pandemic when Kody's strict rules alienated her from him. When Kody wouldn't be there for their daughter Isabel's surgery, Christine felt she had had enough. She remembered how Robyn's presence overshadowed her every time. Even at a family camping trip, Robyn's makeup and Kody's validation made her feel like she wasn't enough. Robyn said she had been ill that morning and was just trying to get ready. But the footage revealed Robyn's presence had always come between Christine and Kody. Christine did end up leaving, but she met David and found happiness in a marriage. They had a whirlwind romance that ended in marriage in October 2023, with loving family and friends in attendance. Christine's tale is a reminder that it wasn't only an escape when she left Kody, it was a chance to live her own life at last. And perhaps, for Kody as well, there's still hope to rebuild if he's willing to face the facts and take responsibility for the harm he's caused. Like, comment, and subscribe for more updates and insights on Sister Wives and the Brown family drama. Stay tuned for breaking news, exclusive interviews, and behind-the-scenes scoops only here on Brown Family Secrets. Thanks for watching.